Hello everyone, it is time for my March recap Flosstube. This is Flosstube number 76. I have my notes over here, so you'll see me look down from time to time. I'm going to try and keep the ring light from reflecting in my glasses so much. It's so hard to deal with that, but I can't read the numbers or anything if I don't have my glasses on. So we're just going to make the best of it. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you're returning. You will find on my channel both card making and cross stitch. So today is a Flosstube, so that means it's all about cross stitch. You will see some that say like Facebook Live. Those are my card making videos. So I have both of them on this channel. Sorry, I think I just shook the table. All right, so I am going to share with you what I got done this month. I stitched a total of 23 days. That's a little bit less than usual. I was in California for almost a week. Went there for a convention for my card making business, and then my girlfriends and I stayed for a couple of extra days and went to Disneyland for a couple of days. Fabulous time, exhausted. But that's why a few less days than normal for me for stitching. And then I had 8,564 stitches for the month, which again is less than usual, but I had a great time. So the first thing I'm going to show you are what I called March Madness, and it was a part of, it's a game that I'm playing now it's on Discord, and I can't remember the name of the game. When I first got started on it, or started to join it, I thought it was on Facebook, and then they moved it over to Discord, so I've been having to learn to do that. But they had something called Sondheim Sweet 16, so it's basically a March Madness, so I called it March Madness. But you filled out a bracket with 16, I'm just going to show you briefly, 16 whips, and then you stitched on one each night, and the first two nights, whichever had the most stitches, moved on to the next round, and so on. So I was trying to figure out how to show these to you because I don't want to show them, multiple times. So I decided just to show them in the order they were eliminated. So I have 16 projects, and at the very end you'll see which one. Sorry, it's over here. Let me scoot this a little closer. Maybe I don't have to reach over so far. You'll see the one that won the whole thing. Now, some days, especially with my traveling, I did not get to stitch on anything. And they had said in the way they laid it out that you can just choose. So some of these were Stitcher's choice, and I don't know. I'll try and tell you when that happened if I can remember. All right, so the first one is Extraordinary Birds. And I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. I would love to have gotten this finished before the next one comes out. So this is by Lola Crow, and she has a new stitch along coming out. I think it's the 24th of April, and it's Night at the Museum, which I've already bought it, and I need to pull the rest of the floss. I've got like 3 different Be Stitch Me fabrics that I might use, so I need to pull the rest of the floss and decide on that. But here is my whole Extraordinary Birds, and where I was working, let me get down to that, is down here in this corner. So I was working on this big, I don't remember what he's called, but a big dinosaur bird. And this is on, it's from Picture This Plus. It was their alternate, well, there's no label on there. Usually there's a label. That might have been the one that came off. Hang on. I should have a card in my bag. Yes, 32 Count Ancient by Picture This Plus. So I did 228 stitches on that one, and it was the first one that got eliminated. And some of these will be a part of my plans for April, but I won't show them again, so I'll just let you know when I get to plans which ones. Oh, and I forgot to undo all the zippers. I apologize. I usually try and do that before I get on here. All right, the next one that was eliminated was English Garden. I hadn't worked on this one in years. This is a Rosewood Manor piece. I can get it out. So this is what it will look like when it's finished. And it was part of this Village Home series, whenever this was, 2014. But I don't know that I ever found any others in that series. So, all right, this is the way it goes. And I did 118 stitches on this one. And I'm not sure what this fabric is. Like I said, this one I started years ago. And I don't think, yeah, I need to, for these spring ones, go back and create a project card for them, because I have not done that. But only 118 stitches on that. When I was working, where did I work? I think I finished the diamond and then worked on some of the floral pieces on the outside. All right, that one was the second one eliminated. And these ones I didn't bring up to show you because I didn't do anything on them. So Dressmaker's Daughter was one of the days I couldn't stitch, so it got 0 stitches. Same thing with Grand Library. I wish I could have gotten some in there. And Siren and the Shipwreck. So those 3 I didn't get to do any stitches on. And so they were the next 3 eliminated. And then next, oh, it got all wadded up in there. I'm working on these monthly minis. These are Primrose Cottage. They came out a couple years ago, I think. Oops. And this is the May one, I believe. And it's finished. I did 176 stitches on it. And these are on Vintage Country Mocha, 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. I think I have 2 left to do. April and I don't remember. All right. Then after that, the next one to get eliminated was this Jeanette Douglas. This was a class I took last year at my LNS, Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, Arkansas. It was Jeanette Douglas. And this is what I've been working on, this Spring Alphabet Garden. Now, after we took this class, they're all released now, but she showed them in one big picture all stacked together, and they look really nice together. But I had this class, so I already had it started. And it is, the cross stitching is done. I don't remember what this fabric is. Did I put it? Yeah. It is 36 count Valley Forge from Needle and Flax. And this was provided as a part of the class. So all the cross stitching is done, but there's a specialty stitch border on the bottom that I need to do. And so I have decided to make all of these somewhat of memorial pieces for my mom. She loved flowers and gardening. So her name was Elizabeth, and her last name started with V, somewhere over here. So I made those, you may not be able to tell on the, yeah, you can. Those initials, different colors, just in honor of her. And I'll do that on all of them. I think on the fall one, because she was born in October, I think on the fall one, I'll try and put her birth date in there too, whenever I get to that. And there are several, when I finish this piece, there's 3 other pieces that we got as a part of this class. All right. Then, next to be eliminated was Nature's Journey, and I have it to show you with my plans. I didn't get any stitched on it this month. After that was Season's Dreams Spring. This is by Barbara Anna. And I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. Oh, I've been forgetting to tell you how many stitches. Oh, just on the Spring Alphabet Garden, I did 163 stitches. This is where I am on this one, and I did 492 stitches, and I think this is on Vintage Country Mocha. I'm going to do all 4 of them separately and then swap them out. So I worked on this side over here. She's really a lot of fun. And I need to go back and look because I'm afraid I used the wrong color for those, so I may have to go rip that out and fix it. Because it doesn't look like it's blending very well, and I think it's because I used the wrong color. All right, excuse me, let me get a drink real quick. Okay. Next was Monthly Quakers. These are by From the Heart Needle Art, and I've been working on September. They usually just have three threads. I don't know. I do not appear to have anything that tells me what this fabric is. Oh, it's on there. 32 count platinum. And this is where I am on this one. So I worked up here in this motif. I had this one done. I think it was this one. I had to rip it out because it was in the wrong spot. So there's still a decent amount on this motif to finish, and then some more there. So eventually, did I tell you that one I did 326 stitches? All right, the next one to be eliminated was Butterfly Cloche. This is by Hello from Liz Matthews. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And it is on 32 count Bramble from Picture This Plus. And I did 502 stitches on this one. So I worked on this, but I worked on the leaf going up there and then this butterfly. It's so pretty. It's muted colors, but gorgeous. Hopefully I'll get to work on that one some more in April. All right. Next was Daisy. This was from a Needlework Marketplace, or one of them from years and years ago. I think it was an exclusive kit, but it's by Rovaris. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to say that, but. And so I've been working on this strawberry over here. And I did 390 stitches on him. And it's on whatever fabric is called for, so I'm not sure if they told us what it was. But here's where I am. So if I remember right, I finished this flower and then I did this. So he's getting close. He's got one more big flower here, and I think that's it. It's a really pretty green fabric. All right, next to be eliminated. This is Spring Rolls by Plum Street Samplers. So cute little dachshunds with Easter ears on, bunny ears on. And I did a total of 802 stitches on this one. This is on 36 count Confederate Gray. I'm not quite sure how I ended up with 36 count. I started this years ago, but I've been able to, I'm using 2 strands. I always use 2 strands on my 32 count, but I am on this 36 count also. And I like it. I like how full it is. So that one's going to go away now, just because it has Easter ears on it and Easter is Sunday. I'll wait and pull it out again next spring before Easter. I'm trying to put all this stuff back so I don't have too big of a mess when I'm done. That one doesn't want to go back. All right, next is Butterfly Garden. This is from the Drawn Thread. I started this one years ago also. I'll have to try, as I pull them out to work on them, create their project cards, because I haven't done that with any of these. So this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. It's beautiful. And like I said, I started this years ago. I was looking for the copyright. Let's see it right there. And I did 587 stitches. So let me show you the whole thing first. I am over halfway done. And I don't know what fabric this is on. It's just like a neutral fabric. And then I was working on these flowers right here, which are the lantana. And that butterfly up there. And these have specialty stitches in them. This particular one doesn't, but you know, some of the other flowers, you can see the sunflowers are lazy daisies. These I think were Smyrnas. So it has a lot of specialty stitches in it, which is fun. But it's not something to work on when you're tired. That's for sure. All right. We are almost down to it. So now we're to the final two. I should have told you which ones were the final four. It would have been the spring rolls, this butterfly garden, and the next two were the final four if you're a basketball fan. We are in our house. We fill out brackets every year as a family just for boasting rights. We don't bet anything. All right. These also have not been worked on for years, and I got a finish. So these are, let me pull out I got like the whole kit of it, however many years ago. Well Rounded by Hands On Design. So there's 3, sorry, hard to get it without the glare, for each season. So I finished this spring one and I started this summer one. And I have the other, let's see, oh, I put them on the other side. I have them in this huge bag that has zippers on both sides and a pocket in the middle. So let me show you the one I finished. Is this one. And the colors in these, I just love the colors. And these are on fabric that I got in the kit. So this is Vanilla Latte. They're all hand dyed by Stephanie. So the spring ones are all Vanilla Latte. And I'll show you the other two that I had previously finished just because I have them here. So Spring Bouquet. So I need to order you can order from Hands On Design the rounds to finish them on. So I need to go ahead and do that, and I can get these spring ones finished. And then this is the third of the spring ones. Such pretty colors. Okay, then let me show you my little start on the summer one. Let me put these back in here, just so I don't lose them. Okay, and then the summer, oh, I should have kept that out. The summer ones are on Chocolate Milk from Hand Dyed by Stephanie. And I just have a little start. So the spring one, I stitched 566 stitches to get it finished. And then this guy was rolled up for so long that he's curly. I only stitched 120 stitches, but that's where I am on the summer, the first summer one. So these ones will stay out. It would be great if I could finish the 3 summer ones by the end of summer, then do fall. So that one was in the final, that series. And then the winner of it all, I'll have to put a picture in of what it's going to look like. I just call it my Etsy butterfly. But this is where I am on it. So I did 930 stitches on it. It's so pretty. And this is on, somewhere on here, there's a tag, I remember seeing it, there it is. 32 count slate from Fiber on a Whim. And this is one of my new purchases. I just left it on here because it matched this whip so well. So that was the winner of my March Madness, which is one of my favorites, so that was fun. Okay, that is all for March Madness. I'm going to pause and get the next basket. There's just a few more whips to show you, and then we'll talk about plans. And then I have market haul to show you. So hold on one moment. Okay, I'm back. All right, so a few other things that I worked on. Oh, and I should have unzipped them while I was paused, and I didn't think to do that. This is, I'm doing this for my granddaughter for her birth sampler. And it is on 32 count Mi Amor by Fortnite Fabric. They are no longer dyeing fabric, but I was in their Fabric of the Month club for a little bit. Let me take off this one side. I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. Oh, let me take off the top one too, so you can see everything. I put in 639 stitches on this one. And I think it's like almost 80% done. It's getting there. So I need to finish some here and then of course put the birth information in. It's really pretty. I had several picked out and my daughter-in-law decided which one she wanted, you know, to go in the room. And so this will be so pretty. I'd hoped to have it done by the end of March, but that didn't happen. But I'll, in my plans shortly, I'll tell you what my plans are for it. All right, and then another one that I worked on a lot was my Heaven and Earth Designs stitch along. This is a 2026 stitch along, so I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. I'm doing the Wise and the Brave, and I put in 2,503 stitches. I didn't write down the percentage or anything. I don't have my tablet right here, but here's where we are. So I have been just going pretty much using Stitchin' Mommy's typewriter method across, but I'm only going 2 pages across. And then I'll just work down for 3 pages. My goal is to get 6 pages done by the end of the year so I can get all the rest of the stitch along charts. So this is fun, and it's fun to see all those leaves coming in on the trees, or bark or lichen or whatever it is on the trees. It's on the tree itself, so I don't know, but it looks nice. And that one I try and work on every day. Now, I don't take it when I'm traveling. It's just too much to take traveling. All right, and then one other, this was a new start. So I have signed up for the Tiny Modernist class at Silver Needle in Tulsa, Oklahoma in May. Sorry, there's probably gonna be a little crinkling. I wanted to get this out so I can show you the picture. And we got our homework, I guess a couple weeks ago now, maybe. And this is what we're going to be making. So they said if you want to do the finishing in class, have all your houses done, your drum done, and 1 flamingo done by the middle of May. So I'm just gonna see what I can get done. Now I'm sure they'll send us with instructions. So if we don't get everything done or can't get it all finished while we're there, then we'll have instructions to take home. But I did start the first house. Sorry, I stopped in the middle yesterday. 366 stitches. And this is, did she tell us what fabric? Oh, I think Silver Needle picked out something, because this is not the affogato. I'll have to look it up and tell you next time. But this is where I am on the first house. So three of the houses will go on here. Then I have, they sent us one big piece, and I did cut mine apart so it would be a little easier to handle. But that will be keeping me busy, trying to get that done by the middle of May. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna see what I can get done. Okay, let me make sure on my notes I haven't missed anything. So that's everything I stitched on for the month. I already told you total stitches 8,564. Now, plans. Sorry, let me get another drink. I'm going back to my wheel spin. So the way I do that is I spin a wheel, I work on that project for 500 stitches roughly, and then I spin the wheel again. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll run through everything that's going to be on that wheel. The other thing I'm going to try to do is work on my Heaven and Earth design stitch along every day and try and get at least 150 to 200 stitches in every day. I'm a little behind now, so I need to catch up. So I need to take a weekend or something when I have more time and just stitch on it. And then I'm going to alternate also working for an hour every day on my burst sampler for my granddaughter and that Tiny Modernist homework until I get the burst sampler done, and then I'll work an hour every day on the Tiny Modernist homework. So we'll see. We'll see how far that gets me along. I may have to make some adjustments if I'm not making enough progress on either of those. You know, maybe I'll just power through and get that burst sampler done, and then I can just focus on the other. But those are my plans for April, along with the new Lola Crow is coming out, like I said, the 24th of April, and I'm leaving town like that day, so I won't be able to start it until I get back, just for a weekend. Just a niece is getting married, so I'll just be out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I need to start collecting. That's the one. I have 3 fabrics that Be Stitch Me had suggested based on the floss and whatever else Lola Crow had said. And so I had 3 of her 4 suggestions I had from being in her Fabric of the Month club. So I'm going to pull the floss and figure out which one of those I want. So I should be ready to start once it comes out. And she'll give you, usually the way this works, and I think she said the same thing this time, is you have about 6 weeks to do the framework. And then each week she drops, you know, a new thing, a new critter in the framework. I have never successfully finished the framework in the 6 weeks she's given us because I have too many other things to work on usually. So we'll see. I have not kept up with any of them that I've done. I have started all of hers. I love them all. I do want to finish them all someday. Probably the Extraordinary Birds I showed you earlier is the farthest one along. But anyway, so I'll start that one towards the end of April. And then the other thing that I will do is Stitch is So Beautiful has a stitch along every month. And they, if you sign up and post your progress every week, for full cross you have to do at least 250 stitches, half cross 500, and you will get the chart, the free chart. You get a free chart at the end of the month. And they've just posted the one for April, and it is so cute. It's like 3 or 4 sheep. They have, I don't know if they have, I think they have balloons. It's really cute. So I didn't participate in May. The leprechaun was cute, but I had so much, March. I had so much going on. I thought, okay, I'm going to skip a month. But I am definitely going to participate in April because I love those little sheep. So I'm going to go back to my Woman in a Field of Flowers. So I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. I decided to move off from Snow Queen now that we're in spring. I had hoped to start a new one, but I decided not to try and get that, you know, ready to go today. So this will be my starting point for Woman in a Field of Flowers. This one I'm doing in diagonal, and I think I'll continue that way because now you can see I'm getting down into the flowers. There's a lot of confetti in this area down here. So sometimes it takes a little while to get those 250 stitches. But so that'll be something else I'm working on besides my wheel and my Heaven and Earth and my burst sampler and homework. Okay, so wheel. Most of these you have already seen. There's just a couple that I'll need to show you. So the monthly Quakers, I'll still work on the September one of that. The monthly minis, I'll probably go ahead and start the March one just to get it done. And I don't know that 500 will quite finish it. All right, Nature's Journey. This was on my March Madness, but it didn't get any work on it. And I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like when it's done. But this is where I am. And I have a needle minder that I love for this project, so I left it on here. Oh, let me see. Let me put it on here. I can hold it a little bit easier. There we go. So this is the spring. I did go down when I was working on it in February and start the winter. My thought was I would work on, whatever season it is, that's the season I'll work on. So now I'll go back up to spring, and it's still got, you know, some to go out here before it gets into summer. So that's on my wheel for April. So whenever it spins, I'll put 500 stitches in on it. And I did spin for today, so I can tell you what that is. And on my wheel, I have a spin a Mirabilia wheel, because I have so many of those started, and spin a full coverage wheel. So I'll tell you what those came up with too. And did I not? Oh yeah, they're here. Okay. The other one that was in my March Madness, but I did not get any work done on it, was Dressmaker's Daughter. This is a Mirabilia. And this is what it will look like when it's finished. This is one of my favorites. I loved it when it first came out. And so I have been working on spring. So I will continue to work on spring whenever it's called. Let me show you the whole thing first. And this is on the called for, which is 32 count milk chocolate. I think it's Witchell. So here's the whole thing. If you can see it, it's kind of hard. So summer is done except for beads. Autumn has a good start, and then spring is what I've been working on. And that's what I'll continue to work on when it gets called for April. Actually, for April, May, yeah, and June, because summer's already done. July, August. We'll see. Maybe I'll get spring done and I can go back to working on autumn. All right. Then my butterfly cloche. These are the other ones that are on my wheel. The Butterfly Garden, the Etsy Butterfly, the Spring Alphabet Garden, and the Well-Rounded series. So those are the rest that are on my wheel. And like I said, I did go ahead and spin my mirror wheel. So if that one comes up, so what I have is one big wheel with all of the options. And then one of those options on there is spin my mirror wheel. And I have another wheel that has all my Mirabilia whips on it. Same thing for full coverage. So evidently my spinning decided I needed to go back to winter, because the Mirabilia wheel spun Christmas in London. This is so pretty. And I'm doing it on a 32 count. I don't know if it's an antique white, but it's an opalescent. So it's going to be a big one. But this is, if I can get it angled here, where I'll be starting from. So if the spin mirror wheel gets spun on my main wheel, then that's what I'll be working on. Let me put this back. And then, like I said, the wheel decided I needed to go back to winter, because my full coverage spin was winter montage. So another winter project, which normally I don't work out of season, but, oh, and I forgot to mention on my Woman in a Field of Flowers, that's 28 count, easy count, and I do 1/1 full cross. And this is no longer available. This is the artist is Janet Stever, and it was charted by Pain Free Craft. And this is where I will be starting on it. Again, 28 count, 1/1 full cross. And I was doing Royal Rose, but I've kind of stopped that. So once I get some stitches over that, I can cut those off. Now I'm doing typewriter method. And I doubt I'll go all the way across. I usually just go however far will fit in my Q-snap. Although this one is not as wide. So I might make it all the way across in my big Q-snap. We'll see. Okay, that is it for plans. So, oh, and I didn't tell you, I told you I had spun for today. So this evening I will be working on the monthly minis. So I should have shown you the March one while I had it, but it's over there now. So you'll see it next month when I've worked on it, after I've worked on it. So that's what I'll be working on tonight. Okay. Haul. There is some. Last time I didn't have very much at all, but this time I have market. Some of this is from my L&S. Some of it is from 123 Stitch. And then a couple of things from clubs I'm in. So I got a few Puntini. This one I really want to start right away, but I have plenty to keep me busy. So maybe I'll wait till May or so and start this one. This is Strawberry Alphabet Sampler. And then this was the Easter Alphabet Sampler. Isn't that cute? Obviously this one won't get started this year, but next year maybe. And then I love her bird trio. So this is the Elegant Bird, or I guess they're not all birds, her trios. This is the Elegant Birds trio. My mom would have loved these. I could have done those for her. And then several hands-on design. Let me see if I can get these organized a little bit so that they're somewhat together. Maybe. Was there a bigger one? Yeah. Okay, sorry. I should have organized them beforehand, but I didn't think about it. So hands-on design, one of my favorite designers. This is Goose on the Loose. So it's part of our big, what are they called? Big Produce. Goose on the Loose in the Garden. I thought it was part of that Big Produce. This one is done on a bigger count fabric, so it's really big. I'll do mine on a smaller count. Make Today Count. And I didn't bring it up, but I did order from Chantel's 141 the board for this. And this comes also with a little round one too. Spring Roll. And I'll probably do it like this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll make a roll out of it. Nightlight. Can you tell I love her stuff? So this is the fourth, maybe? I forget what the first one was. And then she had the Ladybug, which I actually finished, but have not fully finished. And then she had a Christmas Beetle at Jingle Ball, which I purchased, and now this one. And I can't remember what the first one was. Anyway, I have it, but I haven't stitched it. And then the last hands-on design, Oh Tomato. So this one, you have two options. You can do the words over one or over two. And it has this little guide too. And I got this board from Chantel 141 also. So that means I have to stitch those so that I will actually, since I actually have something to finish them on. Okay, Blue Flower, Seasons of the Heart, Shore S'mores. Isn't that fun? I haven't done any of these and I really want to. And Heart's Garden. That's so pretty with that butterfly. All right, let's see. I think this is the only one with the needle and thread, Brenda Gervais, that I purchased so far. What is it called? One Spring Day. So it's another one of the cloche. And that'll wait till next year too, since it's a spring one. I think these are just like one-offs now. Peppermint Lane. This is by Cherry Blossoms. Isn't that fun? Look at all those snowmen. That could be my family. 2 kids. This is from Robin Pickens. I wanted to do Glory in the Wind. I wanted to do something for our 250th celebration. So I don't know when I'll start this, but I just loved this one with the doves and the streamers. And then I also got this one. This is Silver Creek Samplers Banner of Benevolence. Really nice. And I won't read you the whole thing, but it's It's really nice. Basically all people have value. This is Plum Street, Happy Day. Isn't that cute? That could be a 4th of July. And then she had a couple of, well, you can hardly see that one, but other fabric colors. That's one I couldn't wait to get, and I don't know when I'll start her. Maybe she'll be a birthday start. This is the Book Goddess from Tiny Modernist. I ordered the fabric from my LNS. They didn't have it, and they had something else, but it wasn't quite, it didn't look quite like this. And so I said, just order it. I don't have to have it right away. And then from Autumn Lane, Spring Blooms. Autumn Lane Stitchery. And then I was on the automatics for some Jeanette Douglas, and so of course they came in at the same time. So this is Floral Alphabet, and now this series is done. So this is UVW and XYZ. And I haven't started any of these. I don't know if they show them all together or if they did them all separately. And then this is the last of the Seasons in the Garden. So this is spring. Sorry for that glare. Gorgeous. So now we have all 4 of them. So I need to start on that. Okay, then the last 2 things, I have my Be Stitched Me Fabric of the Month. This was from March. It's called Hearthstone, and I'm in the neutral. Oh, that's not showing up very well at all. It's a lot golder than that. That's showing up just tan, but it's got a real yellowish gold color to it. It's really pretty. It'd be a good for a spring project, I think. And then the last thing, and then I'll let you go. This is a little longer than normal. So I'm in the Silver Needle, I think it's called A Little Help from Our Friends. And this is the latest kit we got from Cross-Eyed Cricket. It always comes nicely packaged. It has information, you know, any information you might need. Some little jelly bellies. And then in your packet, sorry, that's probably rustling. Move that out of the way. You'll have the pattern. Plus we got a needle. This time we got, there's always a little special gift. So this time we've got this. Thread drop, thread, and then our threads and our fabric. So we have 2 pieces of fabric, it looks like. Maybe one's for the back. I think it said something about that when I read it. Let's see, what does it say? So it is on, oh, she gave us 28 count or 32 count. It's Icelandic blue. So one is 32 count, one is 28 count. That's nice. I'll do 32 count. All right. That is it. That's all my haul, everything. So a little bit longer than sometimes, but I had a lot to show you for this past month. So I will be back the 1st of May, that's hard to believe, to show you what all I got stitched on in April. All right, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you next time. Bye.